Sarah used to believe love was proven in laughter and shared dreams and the ease of waking up next to someone whose presence made life feel lighter, and for a long time that was exactly what her love with Michael looked like: simple, warm, and full of promise. Michael was steady, gentle, the kind of man who didn't need many words to make you feel safe. And Sarah loved how calm life felt with him, how faith anchored their days and hope shaped their plans. They imagined a future filled with travel, children, ministry, and ordinary joys, never once imagining that sickness would arrive so early or stay so long. When Michael first started getting tired, they laughed it off, blaming work and stress. But fatigue turned into pain, pain into hospital visits, and eventually into a diagnosis that changed everything. Suddenly, the man who once carried groceries for neighbors struggled to stand without help, and Sarah found herself learning medical terms she never wanted to know, memorizing medication schedules, and living between hospital rooms and home. Love no longer looked like romance. It looked like responsibility. Days blurred together, and nights grew heavy with unanswered prayers. Sarah smiled for Michael, reassured him, held his hand, but inside she was exhausted, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Friends slowly faded away, life outside their home continued without them, and Sarah felt the weight of loneliness even while married. No one warned her that staying would feel this hard. No one talked about the quiet temptation to leave, not because she didn't love Michael, but because she was tired of hurting, tired of watching the man she loved suffer, tired of being strong every single day. Late at night, when Michael slept, Sarah sat alone with thoughts she was ashamed of, wondering who she would have been if life had turned out differently, wondering if love was supposed to cost this much. Michael noticed her silence before she spoke it. He saw the way her joy dimmed, the way her laughter became careful. One evening, with tears in his eyes, he told her she deserved better, that she hadn't signed up for this life, that if she ever chose to leave, he would understand. Those words broke Sarah more than the illness ever had, because they forced her to face a decision love eventually demands, not when things are beautiful, but when they are broken. In that moment, Sarah realized love had moved beyond feelings and into sacrifice. She prayed differently after that night, no longer asking only for healing, but for strength, for endurance, for the kind of love that reflects God's heart. And one quiet morning, as she helped Michael out of bed, something shifted, not in her circumstances, but in her spirit. She chose to stay, not because it was easy, but because love is not measured by convenience. Staying became her daily act of courage. Their love changed shape. It grew quieter, deeper, more sacred. They learned to celebrate small victories, to find joy in limited spaces, to cherish presence over performance. Sarah discovered that sacrifice did not destroy love. It refined it. Michael learned that being loved in weakness was just as holy as being admired in strength. Together, they understood a truth many never reach, that real love is not loud, not dramatic, not always romantic, but faithful, patient, and enduring. And in that season, Sarah finally understood the words of Jesus in a way she never had before. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one as friends. She realized that real love remains, especially in hard seasons, and that sometimes the greatest love story is not the one that feels good, but the one that stays when leaving would have been easier.